Okay, so first of all, my name's Andrew Forson, and our project is really designed to take an existing enterprise rapid development low code platform and create a specific plugin that would enable reading and writing to the Cardano blockchain. The existing Joget platform, you can learn all about it at joget.com, has been in existence for several years now, I think since 2009. And many governments, large enterprises, Department of Defense in the US, Ministry of Finance in France, a whole host of large governments have used this to essentially expedite the development of form-based, web-based applications. And what I did was I approached them, and we have in the last few months created a Cardano plugin, which means it enables us to rapidly build. It can be essentially form-based, but even beyond that, applications that read and write to the Cardano blockchain. So anybody can build business applications on Joget because you don't have to be a high-level developer. So it makes developing applications on Joget very, very fast. Joget, unlike a lot of other projects, it actually has a history of deploying credentialed and qualified enterprise class applications. So that means we are piggybacking on that technology to deploy enterprise class applications, either in traceability, land registries, e-government on the Cardano blockchain with speed. And on our actual proposal page, we have an 8-minute video that goes through the process of building a simple DApp on the Cardano blockchain with Joget. So this slide outlines how it works. Essentially, it includes data lists, creating backend processes and workflows, and connecting these data lists and workflows to the Cardano blockchain. And then you're also able to create the end user interface, which deploys like a native application on Android or iOS or desktop. It deploys as a progressive web app. So you're able to generate your Cardano account from within the application, map fields to form elements, configure, fetch, and load ADA to the account, and then actually build applications. In our case, we built a traceability application that reads and writes to the Cardano blockchain. What I like most about this is it actually enables us to build real enterprise class applications on the Cardano blockchain without having to get into the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty of Haskell, Plutus, smart contracts, because most developers now in the enterprise space tend to be citizen developers. It's very costly to hire in blockchain developers to build an application and get them to maintain the application. But with the Joget application platform, which is an open source platform, you are able to build these applications, maintain them in a visual low code way. So with that, I open the floor to questions.
Beautiful timing. Well done. Does anyone want to start us off with the first question?
Sure.
Go ahead, Kendrick.
So it sounds like you've already been working with Joget. So what I'm wondering is how much of the development has already been done and how much is going to be done in this project?
Okay, so what we did was, actually I was working with Emergo, trying to help them sell their traceability systems into Africa. And the truth is it was very, very costly.
Mm-hmm.
So I approached Joget, and I put a challenge to them that if they could build a Cardano plugin and we could deploy simple traceability systems quickly, then I would work with them to bring this to the broader Cardano community and try and get traction in Africa. Okay. So we spent 2 weeks creating a plugin that allows us to read and write to the blockchain. So that is our beta, our prototype that is in existence now. Okay. And then after that, after we had the plugin, it took us 3 days to build an enterprise class traceability system. The only thing that it was missing was the consortia security rules, because we built it as a prototype. So we wanted it open for a demo. We then proceeded to make that demo to Mercy and her team at WADA and said that we can take this to African enterprises economically. So we're at a beta level. The project that we want to do is deploy it so it's a truly enterprise class plugin that has a full functionality of released elements of the Cardano blockchain so that we can deploy with confidence enterprise decentralized apps.
Great, nice.
Anyone else got a question there? Want to follow up with us?
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys already have any clients or projects onboarded or piloting in using Joget?
Using Joget? Yes, a massive client list. We have Alliance Bank in Malaysia was onboarded last week. If you actually go to joget.com/customers, you will actually see that Joget has a long history of enterprise workflow application development for large enterprises and for government. And this is why we felt confident in submitting this to the nation building DApp space, because it allows these organizations to build the application to their requirements and maintain them to their requirements. What I brought to the team in the partnership with Joget is the specific focus on blockchain and Cardano. I wanted to build Cardano applications in Africa on blockchain visually and quickly.
Amazing.
And maybe a related question is, do you have partners within the Cardano system ready to work with you?
Actually, that's an interesting question. We have been in talks with IOG themselves, but it is nothing that has been formalized. So essentially, there's a possibility that we will develop some sort of partnership with the professional services group. So perhaps they too can use it to build applications on Cardano. But that has not been formalized. It's merely been a trial balloon that we've had in discussion with them. And if anything were to come of that, it would likely be in first quarter 2022 or beyond. The biggest help, to be frank, within the Cardano community that we've encountered has been Mercy and WADA. Mercy has guided our process through the Catalyst, through developing presentations. It was with Mercy that we made the first broad-based demonstration of the live traceability tool to her group. So in that way, I don't know if WADA counts as formal participants of the Cardano community. They're not one of the big three of Emergo, IOG, or Cardano Foundation. But without a doubt, none of this would have been possible without Mercy and WADA. I can't even fake that.
Great.
Definitely big parts of the community. So they don't have to be part of IOG or Mergo or CF.
So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about who will bear the cost going forwards. So if an enterprise in Africa somewhere wants to develop on it, I'm assuming there's a cost related to actually using the platform and using it to get to the.
Yeah, actually there is a cost, and most blockchain rapid development tools cost in the order of hundreds or thousands per month. This costs for our enterprise developer seat $120 per year. And that's not just a specific cost for Africa or this project. This is the ongoing business cost that Joget has been using. And they've been able to do that because oftentimes if you have a bank or a government bureau, what they'll do is they'll sign up 5,000 users to the system. And they also have a public license. So you can have perhaps 5 people build the decentralized application, but then the public license enables people to access it from the website at no additional cost. That public license is something that is generally negotiated, but it's actually very reasonable and low. I'm not a pricing expert in this, but the only reason why I actually partnered with them was because I'd explored Simba chain, I'd explored settlement, and we were looking at, in some instances, 5,000 euros a month. We can't build an application in Africa, have them actually use it for 5,000 euros a month.
For sure.
120 a year, we can actually create an army of citizen developers. And this is something we've been in talks with Mercy to do, and it's an aspect of our actual proposal.
Sure, and Charles and IOG are also very big on developing the community development. Okay, thank you. Does anyone have another question for Andrew?
I have one quick question, kind of piggybacking off of Kenrick's question, because this is like very well put together. Like you guys seem to be very far down the road, but there are some things left to do. So I'm kind of curious, because you guys are kind of presenting for this fund, like what are the big rocks that you guys have to solve, or what's left to get this kind of like into production and enterprise ready and all that?
Okay, so first off, we want to move forward with this no matter what, because we think it's critical. We believe in the vision of Cardano, and we think that the blockchain space has a unique challenge in that actual blockchain developers like working on the blockchain. They're not as interested in building business applications. So the cost for businesses of deploying solutions on the blockchain tends to become exorbitant. Right now, the beta plugin that we have does not have support for smart contracts. The beta plugin that we have still requires some element of variable placement in the GUI. What we'd like it to be is fully drag and drop, because that's how the rest of the Joget platform works. So we created a system that if we were to run a demo with you, and I hope that you all get in touch with us so that you can actually see it, that if you were to see it, you would think, oh my goodness, it is deployable right now as drag and drop visual. But we're used to doing more. And because of the long history of work in that field, they want to do everything to do with the Cardano plugin as refined as the rest of the application.
Gotcha. And I guess as the blockchain evolves and more features and stuff, you have to like keep in lockstep with that to support that through the plugin.
Which is what we already do with other elements of deploying on Azure, deploying on AWS. And that is actually you raised a really good point, Ryan. One of the key things is when you build an application, there are going to be updates to the underlying blockchain. You don't want to have to go back and find the developer or get a new developer to read the documentation, sometimes at 200, 300, 400 euros an hour to update your application. In this case, we release updates to a simple plugin, which is essentially a connection to the API of the Cardano blockchain. So we have one point of contact to update, and these updates essentially replicate down to the user, and we'll include additional features based on that to the application developers. So it's a form of efficiency at scale. We focus on the connection between the visual developer and the Cardano blockchain. You just focus on solving your business applications and problems.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Andrew. That is the end of your 10 minutes.